Hello, my name is Patrick Gunning, and you are currently tuned into What Am I Saying, a show which I talk about random things. Here on episode 9, I'm going to be talking about help stop bullying. I'm no expert in bullying, but there might be a solution to combat bullying. I'm going to start the show right now. Some kinds of bullying can't simply be ignored, but if it becomes more serious, then action must be taken to address the problem so it doesn't happen again in the future. Bullying Stopping any form of bullying is a group effort force with both understanding and education, but with the victims' authorities and people who are close to the perpetrator need to get involved. There are resources set up to understanding the warning signs of bullying for both the victim of bullying and for the individuals who are doing the bullying. The resources that are understanding and preventing bullying from happening includes websites like bullyingnoway.gov.au that is set up by the Australian government, and as well stopbullying.gov set up by the United States government that would help victims in understanding, letting the victims of bullying know that there is help available for them and it's okay to report to someone about bullying despite if the bully making threats and intimidation against them. Teaching people to be kind and nice to everyone that they know and everyone that they don't even know as well too. Letting the parents, the guardians and the caregivers of the bullies in knowing what is going on without letting the perpetrator know about it. Parents, guardians, caregivers and people who are close to the bully to teach them about good behavior than bad behavior. Letting the parents, guardians and caregivers need to know about the warning signs of bullying to stop it from happening in the first place. Letting the bullies know that their actions that isn't acceptable and cannot be tolerated, and even more punishment will happen if their behavior itself still continues on behalf of the bullies. More disciplinary action needs to be taken against the perpetrators who had harmed their victims, and for them to report their behavior, letting the bullies know through education that people have limits, boundaries, and if crossing it led to serious consequences towards them. If the perpetrator continues with their misbehavior despite being punished for their actions, then further actions would be taken way more seriously than the last punishment. Enrolling bullies into activities like boot camp or anti-bullying classes against their will would somehow help stop the individuals bullying from other bullies bullying others, but only if the individuals themselves acknowledge that they have a bullying problem. Then they would understand about their problems, but only if the individual to acknowledge in order to avoid going to those activities. If they don't understand them having a problem and refusing to acknowledge or even deny having behavioral problems, then they don't simply care about anything at all. Taking action with the early warning signs bullying starts to occur would not only prevent bullying from continuing, but also letting the bullies know that their behavior is totally unacceptable and helping the victim from having any more problems. Guardians and caregivers that enforce only with negative reinforcement for bad behavior may result in the person continuing with the bullying, but having a little positive reinforcement could result in a good and nice behavior. Taking away the bully's privileges and opportunities as punishment, and have those privileges and opportunities returned only if they can prove that they will be responsible for their actions for the next couple of weeks. If the bullies choose to continue their misbehavior, then further action must be taken, with additional punishment added to the current punishment to the bully is receiving until they can start to behave. If the bullies would eventually apologize and take responsibility and repair the damage that they did to their victims, and encourage others not to do the same thing that they had done, and be open about what they did to others in the first place. Bullying may stop if someone can show how to be a good role model to the individual, and guide and encourage them into doing the right thing, and be kind to other people as well. Bystanders have an important part in trying and preventing the bullying from happening, and further by stepping in and help the victim out, even if they put themselves at risk. If it's important to stop bullying of any kind and help the victims of bullying whenever possible. Creating some sort of safe place would be helping the victim of bullying. Getting the bullies to do some form of activity of any kind that would help prevent bullying from happening, or prevent bullying from continuing. If an individual hears or even sees bullying happening, as well other forms of abuse, then report those activities to an authority figure. Keeping records on how and when a bullying occurs, including time, date, location, and the names of both the bullies and the victims if possible. Victims of bullying should not live in fear, but stand up and show that you are not going to be a victim, and that you are not afraid of them, and how weak bullying really is. I have to say that the show has come to an end for the time being, and in the next episode of What Am I Saying, I'm going to be talking about being nice, and stay around for this episode to come. And for the time being, I see you guys later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The following production has been written, edited, presented, and produced by Patrick Gunning, and copyrighted in 2023 by Patrick Gunning, or PFGUN0 for short.